I'm your host, Rob. This video, we're going to do a viewer request for the conspiracy theory area of the channel. We're going to talk about the Megalodon. Okay guys, welcome back. So, the Megalodon. Now, a couple of viewers requested this. I've heard of Megalodon before. I didn't think it was a conspiracy theory. I did a little bit of homework, and you know what? It turns out it's a lot of people believe this monster is still alive. Now, first thing I want to get out the way is I was going to do a video about mermaids some time ago, and I actually did one. I didn't like the way it came out, so I never uploaded it. I am going to do it. A couple of people have mentioned it on the comments on the other videos. And the reason I was going to mention that, and this now coincides with it, is because Discovery Channel obviously has been doing some mockumentaries. The Mermaid was one of them. I was unaware that they did the Megalodon too, and it's pretty disappointing because I didn't see the Megalodon when I saw the one for the the mermaids. And the thing of it is they set it up to look like it's real. You know, they get these scientists, they get these boats, they go into the ocean, blah 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 blah, but they're fake. They're fake, and a lot of people have been pissed off about this, and the Megalodon was one of them. They got a lot of bad publicity because of this, and rather than apologize, I don't know if they officially apologized to the public, but one of the things they did comment on was that they told the public that there's no 100% proof that this animal does not exist. They're right. There is no 100% proof. Now, I'll give you my personal thought is this. On one side, you guys know me. I've always said I will never say never. Because with my luck, I'll say, oh, Megalodon doesn't exist, 100% confirmed for me, I don't think it exists. And then 2 days later, Megalodon will be found. And I'll look like an idiot. So, the ocean has not been explored to its full extent. It really hasn't. A lot of it can't be because of the water pressure down there. It would just crush us if we went down too far. Technology has improved over the years to allow us to go deeper, but with like robot type submarines instead of actually people, or submarines that have incredible pressure constraints that we can be in but still can't go down that far. And so with that said, you can never 100% can say, excuse me, that a Megalodon doesn't exist. You know, we can't go down that far to watch. Who knows what goes on down there? There could be something bigger than the Megalodon. And the interesting about the Megalodon is, for those of you who don't know, it's basically a ginormous shark, can grow up to at least 60 feet. If you look at pictures online, there's some museums, I don't know if it's this country or maybe other countries, that have fossils re-erected of the large shark. And it is just, it's so insanely big. It's hard to believe something that big actually existed. And when you consider, you know, a great white shark can get up to what, 16 feet, something like that, sometimes larger. When you put a great white shark next to a Megalodon, I mean, you're talking about some serious size differentials. I mean, even the teeth, they showed like a Megalodon tooth. And you know what? I'm actually going to pull that picture up right now. I'm going to pull that picture up and I'll show it. I'm going to show some pictures of this fossil while I talk about this. So I'm going to pull these up right now. I'm going to start a little collage so you guys can see. I mean, this thing was big. I mean, the tooth was about the size, almost about the size of a shark's mouth. And you know, there was stories or theories that it could almost eat a whale, not whole, but I mean it could pretty much take a whale out, no problem. So does this monster exist today? You know, truthfully, I don't know. You know, there's many conspiracy theories, people catching it on film, people reporting seeing it, and it's one of those things like Bigfoot. You know, you don't want to believe everything you hear, but put yourself in the other person's shoes, and how would it feel if you saw something you thought was real, and people come around and they start disputing what you say. Oh, you're hallucinating, which can be the most frustrating thing in the world. So now, reasons why I think it may not exist. Well, something like that would need a substantial amount of food, which I think on the surface, on the higher up parts of the ocean, is a little bit more fruitful. The lower parts of the ocean are probably very, very non-friendly to wildlife, with the exceptions of whatever animals are down there that specialize in living down there. But you know, it would have to come up and eat, you know, dolphins, whales, things like that. And something that big would be hard to miss. It would be hard to miss. I mean, even if somebody didn't get a perfect picture, you would get a significant picture. I mean, that's a huge animal. I mean, it's really, it's really hard to not prove something like that could exist. You want to, and plus, I don't know how sharks or animals in the shark family reproduce. I don't know how rapid it is, but I would think that considering other marine life can spread life pretty rapidly, I would think we would see quite an influx of these animals. So that's kind of what makes me put it into question. What makes me think it could possibly be viable is the large squid. The large squid was the exact same thing. Before it was discovered, people insisted it didn't exist because you could never see one. It would this and this, and then next they discovered it. And now it's a proven fact that the large squid does in fact exist. They have a hard time catching them and them living on the surface because of the kind of life they're used to in the deep parts of the world, in the deep ocean parts of the world. When they come to the surface, I remember watching a documentary on it, and I don't know if it was the air or the difference in pressure or just the food. It was something along those lines that they just could not survive on this in a tank or none of that. They just couldn't. I think one of them theorized it was the light, the amount of light that they had to deal with would kill them. I mean, it was a mishmash of theories as to why when they did capture a live one, within 24 hours it would die. Even though they provided it with suitable tank, food, and things of that nature, they just would not live. So because of what happened with the large squid, the same thing could happen with Megalodon. The only thing is this: you're not going to catch this fucking thing either way. I mean, this thing is big. There's no way anyone could catch it. And if this thing was to be alive, nobody would go to the beach anymore. It would change the game considerably. And that's another reason why I think there's a chance it may not exist. I mean, you take a fish this size, even if you have a couple of hundred of them throughout the world, I mean, you're talking about beaches and sailors, and nobody would go in the ocean with this thing around. I mean, the thing could swallow multiple amounts of people in one shot. Easy. Swallow whole. Doesn't even have to chew you. Can you imagine being swallowed by a monster this size and slowly digesting in its acid pit of the stomach? At least if a great white shark eats you, I mean, you're going to go through a couple of minutes of agonizing pain, but not a couple of hours sitting in somebody's belly slowly digesting. I mean, I couldn't even think of it. So, overall, do I think this animal exists? You know what? It's tough. I don't question the ocean. I don't question the ocean because it's so large, it's so uncharted, anything is possible. And we learned our lesson from the squid. So, it's a tough call for me to make on this one. I think for the most part, if it did, I think we would have found it a lot sooner than we found the squid. But the squid proved that it could perfectly survive without necessarily having to come up from the water. And the Megalodon is probably one of those animals as well. When you're that large, you're the ruler of the sea. What's the point of coming up for? Anything that gets remotely close to you is food. So let's just put it this way. If this thing exists, this prey, it stays in the depths of the ocean. I mean, this thing is no joke. So, but that's it for the Megalodon. That's my thoughts. I mean, it was incredible to read up on it. I want to thank you guys who asked me to do this. It's definitely a little frightening if you if you even think this thing is out there. And I don't like the ocean to begin with anyway. So I just don't like the idea of drowning or being in a boat and getting toppled over or the storm. I don't swim that well to begin with. So, but even if I did, if you're stuck in the middle of the ocean with all these animals and storms and waves, and your ass is grass. But for those of you who do like to be out in the ocean and sail, yeah, I hope this thing doesn't exist because, man, that's just the day for humanity not to ever go back in the water. You're probably talking about a real life kaiju, a real life monster, because I'm sure you guys saw the pic. That thing was not small. So anyway, interesting topic. Thanks for you guys that requested me to do this. It was a lot of fun to read up on it, and excuse me, and we'll talk about some more conspiracy theories and other things going forward. A lot of requests came in for the category, so I'm excited about that. And I will see you guys next video. Comment below and let me know what your thoughts are. And share anything else that I might have missed because I only really visited 2 websites. So take it easy, guys. Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. I'm your host, Rob. This video, we're going to do a viewer request for the conspiracy theory area of the channel. We're going to talk about the Megalodon. Okay, guys, welcome back. So, the Megalodon. Now, a couple of viewers requested this. I've heard of Megalodon before. I didn't think it was a conspiracy theory. I did a little bit of homework, and you know what? It turns out it's a lot of people believe this monster is still alive. Now, first thing I want to get out the way is I was going to do a video about mermaids some time ago, and I actually did one. I didn't like the way it came out, so I never uploaded it. I am going to do it. A couple of people have mentioned it on the comments on the other videos. And the reason I was going to mention that, and this now coincides with it, is because Discovery Channel obviously has been doing some mockumentaries. The Mermaid was one of them. I was unaware that they did the Megalodon too, and it's pretty disappointing because I didn't see the Megalodon when I saw the one for the the mermaids. And the thing of it is they set it up to look like it's real. You know, they get these scientists, they get these boats, they go into the ocean, blah 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 blah.